tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. directs various government agencies to ensure an accessible water supply of up to 40 million Filipinos who have no access to fresh water.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, strongly denies China's new claim that they allegedly entered into a new model agreement with the Chinese government regarding the management of a union shoal.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA, disclaims any involvement in spreading text messages notifying motorists of alleged traffic violations through a supposed no-contact apprehension policy.
And we will discover why the main graduation ceremony of the University of Columbia was canceled and decided to continue to host a smaller ceremony following weeks of protests for Palestine on the Ivy League's campus.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is the 7th of May, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Bianca Quijano. First in the news. Earlier, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. convened government officials to discuss the water supply problem in the country. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, National Irrigation Administration, and Department of Public Works and Highways laid out their plans on how to assist in addressing the water supply amidst the threat of severe drought in the country. Nel Maribahok reports.
There are still communities in the country that lack adequate access to clean water sources. This is now the focus of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. According to Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Undersecretary for Integrated Environmental Science Carlos Primo David, up to 40 million Filipinos have no access to fresh water. In a sectoral meeting at the Malacanang Palace on Tuesday, May 7, President Marcos emphasized that 40 million underserved Filipinos is a large number that should be addressed accordingly by the government to ensure their welfare and proper access to water supply.
The directive of the President this morning was very clear. 40 million of our residents, Filipinos, do not have access to a formal water supply. They still access water from springs, from creeks.
Undersecretary David said they already have a few strategies to provide sufficient water supply to the 40 million individuals who are mostly residing in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM. And this is through the so-called desalination process, which is the conversion of seawater to fresh water.
Yung unang strategiya na naisip namin para sa small island barangays, at nakakasana po yan, nagsimula na kami nitong programa na to, ay bigyan sila ng fresh water, ng tubig pang inom through the desalination process.
According to USEC David, they already have a list of 65 island barangays where they will start the desalination process. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Water crisis in the country is due to lack of regulation and policy in the water sector. Senator Grace Poe, who chairs the Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media Senator, pointed out that this should not be the case, since the nation is rich in water resources. Lalaine Moreno tells us why.
Poor management in national water sector has resulted to water crisis in the country. This is the response of Senate Chairperson of the Committee on Public Information and Mass Media, Senator Grace Poe, on the hearing to pass a bill forming a Department of Water Resources. According to Senator Poe, the Philippines is abundant in water resources.
The root of our water crisis, however, is actually a crisis in regulation. The problem is not that we don't have resources, but that we do not effectively manage our resources.
Based on the data by Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the country have 421 river basins, 59 natural lakes, 100,000 hectares of freshwater swamps, 50,000 square kilometers of groundwater reservoir, and 2,400 millimeters of average rainfall in the entire year. But until now, there was no specific regulation and policy on the water sector.
Our problem is the system. Tignan niyo yan. Sinong namumuno dyan? Dapat NWRB, di ba? Pero mga iba't ibang mga mga departments ng gobyerno na pinagsama-sama na wala namang specialization sa tubig lang. Ayan yung water supply, nag-aagawan lahat. Lahat yan may allocation ng tubig pero wala naman talagang malinaw na regulasyon at polisiya.
Because of the situation, 131 cities and municipalities in the Philippines are now suffering from water crisis. Aside from Cagayan de Oro City's problem on water shortage, Santa Maria Water District in Bulacan is also suffering on water supply.
Halos landlocked po kami. We only have one river traversing our municipality. And right now, we rely our water sources from groundwater sources. Puro po groundwater, which alam naman po natin, ayon sa NWRB, critical na po ang water supply ng groundwater sa Bulacan. Sobrang napakahirap po talaga ng hindi namin alam kung saan kami kukuha ng tubig.
This is one of the priorities of the senator in solving the problem by forming a Department of Water Resources. Lelaine Moreno, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The House Committee on Agriculture and Food has approved a bill amending the rice tariffication law, also known as the Republic Act number 11203. This approval comes a day after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced that he would certify the bill as urgent. Rosa Licos will tell us why.
The bill to amend Republic Act number 11203, more commonly known as Rice Tariffication Law or RTL, has received the green light from the House Committee on Agriculture and Food. This approval comes a day after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. stated that he will certify the bill as urgent.
As promised by the Speaker, this is a priority that we will pass an amended RTL, Rice Tariffication Law.
One of the significant provisions of the bill is to grant the National Food Authority or NFA the power to sell rice again at low prices in the market. No representatives objected to the bill after several days of hearings.
Kaya kailangan po mag-intervene ang National Food Authority dito. Bigyan ng kapangyarihan makapagbenta ang NFA sa mga palengke like before. 2018, 2017 nakakapagbenta, ewan ko kung sinong ang nag-aproba nito na inalisan ng kapangyarihan ng NFA na magbenta sa palengke. Kung sino man yung na yan, mali.
Wherein we will ensure that there will be the presence of NFA to stabilize the price of rice. Para ito nga po will be affordable to our countrymen. Kinakailangan that they should also be there para panlaban din po ng gobyerno sa mga mapagsamantalang mga traders sa merkado.
However, groups of farmers express concerns about the potential effects of the bill to their livelihoods.
Pero baka meron pang ibang paraan na magiging last resort yon because NFA buying is very messy, it's very expensive, and prone to leakages, corruption. So, ang unang suggestion po namin is let's find a way so that hindi baratin ng trader yung farmer. Kasi pag ani ng farmer, basa yung kanyang palay, wala siyang truck, wala siyang ibang matatakbuhan, mahirap magbenta sa NFA, sige na lang, tanggap na lang ng mababang presyo. Kaya ang caution namin po, dapat yung lens natin, farm gate, hindi lang sa retail na naging problema natin year in, year out, mapababoy, mapamanok, mapabigas. Sa retail price lang po nakatingin hindi tayo nakatingin sa farm gate. Kaya yung disconnect po, kawawa talaga farmers.
Before reaching the plenary, the bill will also be reviewed by the House Committee on Ways and Means due to its tax provisions, as well as by the House Committee on Appropriations for its budget implications. The House of Representatives aims to pass the bill before the MMDA adjournment on May 24. The chamber is targeting a reduction in rice prices by July. However, the bill may not become law if the Senate does not approve it. According to House Deputy Majority Leader and ACT-CIS Party List Representative Tulfo, House Speaker Martin Romualdez and Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri are expected to discuss the proposed law. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine National Police categorically denied allegations of any active or retired police officers planning destabilization efforts against the Marcos administration. In a recent statement, PNP Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Jean Fajardo categorically stated that the Philippine National Police is not actively monitoring any active or retired PNP officials involved in movements to overthrow the administration. According to Colonel Fajardo, the PNP is unaware of the source of the information provided by former Senator Antonio Trillanes regarding alleged recruitment activities dating back to last year.
Well, ibigay natin po sa kanya yung pagkakataon na linawin po yung kanyang pananalita. But on the part of the PNP, ay inuulit ko po, ay wala po tayong monitor na anumang destabilization na plot laban po sa ating administrasyon.
Colonel Fajardo emphasized that the National Police Force remains apolitical and loyal to the Constitution. Therefore, the PNP is engaging in dialogue with the former senator, urging him not to drag them into such issues. During a press conference, former Senator Antonio Trillanes claimed that both active and retired officials of the PNP and the Armed Forces of the Philippines are allegedly planning destabilization efforts against the Marcos administration. Trillanes alleges that this effort aims to protect or shield former President Rodrigo Duterte from potential arrest by the International Criminal Court for alleged crimes against humanity linked to his war on drugs campaign.
Ang pakiusap lang po natin kay kagalang-galang na dating Senador Trillanes please spare the PNP dito po sa mga issue po na ito at nakafocus po tayo sa ating pagtupad ng ating mandato at kanina nga po ay nagpunta yung ating Chief PNP sa PNP NCRPO at we would like to share na mataas po ang moral po ng inyong kapulisan dahil po sa mga binibitawan pong panalita ng ating Chief PNP at wala pong rason ang sino mga aktibong miyembro po ng PNP para lumahok po dito sa sinasabi pong destabilization plot.
And for the news abroad, the Palestinian militant group Hamas agreed on Monday, May 6th, to a ceasefire proposal for Gaza put forward by mediators, although Israel expressed dissatisfaction with the terms and proceeded with attacks in Rafah while planning to continue negotiations for a potential deal. In the ongoing conflict, Israeli forces carried out strikes in Rafah, a city on the southern edge of Gaza, through air and ground operations, and instructed residents to evacuate certain areas. Rafah has served as a sanctuary for over 1 million displaced Palestinians. Hamas, through a brief statement, confirmed that its leader, Ismail Haniyeh, had communicated acceptance of the ceasefire proposal from Qatari and Egyptian mediators. However, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office later stated that Hamas' proposed ceasefire did not meet Israel's expectations. Despite this, Israel agreed to send a delegation for further discussions in an attempt to reach a resolution. Netanyahu's office also announced that the war cabinet endorsed the continuation of operations in Rafah. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called on both Israel and Hamas to make additional efforts to reach an agreement, according to his spokesperson. An Israeli official, speaking anonymously, described the ceasefire proposal accepted by Hamas as a diluted version.
The main graduation ceremony of the University of Columbia, which normally accommodates over 55,000 people, has been cancelled. This after institution discovered security concerns following pro-Palestinian protests took place in the campus. Ann Gonzalez tells us why.
Following weeks of protests for Palestine on the Ivy League's campus, a decision was made to cancel the University of Columbia's main graduation and continue to host a smaller ceremony. In a statement from the University of Columbia spokesperson, the large ceremony, if held, would present security concerns on campus that would be too great to overcome. The graduation has been moved to May 15th. Alternative venues have been considered, but the university had been unable to find one which can hold over 50,000 people, including students, families, and guests. Multiple universities in the nation have also initiated protests on campus after the protests at the University of Columbia drew national attention, demanding a ceasefire and the university to cut ties with companies associated with Israel. Meanwhile, Hamas, the militant group in Palestine, has accepted the mediator's Gaza ceasefire proposal, but Israel has declared that the terms do not meet its demands and has continued its attack on Rafah. Ann Gonzalez, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The Armed Forces of the Philippines strongly denies that the Western Command has entered into any agreement with China. The Philippine Navy has described China's claim of a new agreement as a zombie story, a product of imagination that should no longer be discussed. Ryan Lacandale tells us why.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines strongly refutes China's new claim that the AFP entered into a new model agreement with the Chinese government regarding the management of Ayungin Shoal. According to AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla, there is no such agreement that would involve the AFP Western Command with China.
On China's alleged agreement on the new model in Ayungin Shoal, the AFP denies the claim made by the Embassy of China in Manila that the AFP Western Command has agreed to a new model for the conduct in the Ayungin Shoal.
She stated that as a professional organization, the actions of the AFP are in accordance with the government policies, and they would not take any actions without the permission of their superiors.
Any agreements or arrangements with other nations require the involvement and approval of the appropriate government agencies and officials, such as the Department of National Defense and the National Security Advisor.
The Armed Forces was also not surprised by China's mention of their names in the issue, as they anticipated this kind of scenario.
Any type of scenario that can happen. So it's not surprising that the AFP will be dragged into this, but we are one nga, all of us, kahit sino naman ang tanungin nyo, nobody is really saying that there is actual truth to this. So it doesn't even merit response from our end.
Meanwhile, in a Viber message to the media, Philippine Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore Roy Vincent Trinidad, said that alleged agreement in Ayungin Shoal is just a zombie story and a product of China's imagination. According to Trinidad, this is just a way for China to divert attention from their violations of international laws. He also stated that China just want to sow discord among Filipinos while continuing their plans in the disputed territory. Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The inflation rate increased again this last month of April, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. Because of this, the call to increase wages keeps on intensifying due to higher prices of goods in the country. Jed Neresina details why.
The Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA said that the inflation rate in the country increased again for the third consecutive month this April. This was driven by faster price increase of food and transportation. The inflation rate reached 3.8%, slightly higher than 3.7% recorded in March.
Ang headline inflation o ang pagtaas ng presyo ng mga produkto at serbisyo sa bansa ay bumilis sa antas na 3.8% nitong Abril 2024.
However, it still remains within the forecast range of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, that is 3.5% to 4.3%. Due to continuous acceleration of the price level of goods and services, the call for higher and increase in wages intensifies. The National Wages and Productivity Commission explained that the additional wage depends on the regional wage boards in the country.
Kami ho ay nagbibigay ng technical input sa kanila na maaari ho nilang gamitin para sila ho ay makapag-decision ng naaayon ho sa tingin nila ay makabubuti para sa ating mga manggagawa, sa mga mamumuhunan at doon na rin ho sa pangangailangan ng ating ekonomiya para ho sa pag-unlad ng ating bayan.
Moreover, the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE has also passed its technical inputs and comments in the House of Representatives regarding the matter, and it is expected to be discussed again tomorrow, May 8, by the Committee on Labor and Employment.
Ang tungkulin po ng aming agency ay magbigay po ng technical inputs sa ating pong mga mambabatas doon po sa kanilang mga inihain na wage bill at ang Department of Labor po ay nakapag-submit na po ng aming comments doon po sa mga bills na nabanggit. Kung sakasakali hong ang gusto ng Kamara ay kuhain sa regional board yung pabalik sa kanila yung polisiya o yung mandato sa pagtatakda ng pasahod ay atin pong igagalang yung kanilang decision sapagkat yung sa amin naman po ay delegated authority.
Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA has disclaimed a spreading text message notifying motorists that they have committed traffic violation through no contact apprehension policy. JP Nunez will tell us why.
A concerning scam text message is making its rounds, purportedly from the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA, alleging traffic violations and demanding immediate payment. The message, appearing authentic at first glance, prompts recipients to click a link and input their vehicle plate numbers to confirm alleged infractions. It's a tactic preying on the fear of consequences, claiming to enforce a no-touch apprehension policy. However, it's imperative to note that the MMDA swiftly disavows any association with these deceitful messages. The agency makes it unequivocally clear that their no-contact apprehension policy remains suspended. Among those ensnared in this web of deception is a motorist from Bulacan.
Ang nakalagay doon, no contact apprehension. Your traffic violation, fine in 3 days past due. Please pay through go.ph.w or your driver license will be suspended for 30 days.
Initially on the brink of compliance, their suspicions were raised when the demanded payment suddenly ballooned to 5,000 pesos.
Inabot ko pa. Hanggang sa babayaran ko na sana. Rinig ko na para bayaran. Ang unang penalty, 1,000. Ngayon, yung babayaran ko na ng Paymaya, naging 5,000. Yun, simula nun, hindi na ako naniwala. Hindi ko na tinuloy kasi malaking pera nang hinihingi.
The agency has reminded the public that if targeted by similar messages, don't hesitate to reach out. Report these scams promptly to the MMDA's hotline at 136. Furthermore, let this be a call to vigilance. Exercise caution when navigating the digital landscape. The MMDA cautions against unwittingly divulging personal information on dubious websites as these platforms may be harvesting sensitive data. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, rescue operations are in full swing following a tragic incident in South Africa where a multi-story building under construction collapsed, claiming the lives of 3 individuals and leaving dozens trapped on Monday afternoon, May 6. The local authorities in the coastal city located east of Cape Town reported 24 people have been successfully rescued and transported to hospitals for treatment after the incident. As per the latest update from the municipality of George, 51 individuals are still trapped under the rubble. Western Cape Premier Alan Wind revealed that 75 construction workers were present at the site when the structure collapsed, as captured by CCTV footage showing a cloud of dust enveloping the area during Monday afternoon's collapse. Eyewitnesses, including local councillor Teresa J.E., recounted the harrowing scene, with J.E. expressing her shock and sadness at witnessing the building's sudden collapse while one worker was still inside. The provincial government mobilized police and rescue teams equipped with sniffer dogs to assist in the search and rescue efforts. Mayor Leon Van Wyk of George emphasized the challenging nature of the operation, stating that rescue workers are striving to pinpoint the locations of trapped individuals amidst the debris. He noted that the rescue mission is expected to be prolonged and may extend throughout the night, with additional rescue equipment en route to aid in the efforts.
Yesterday, May 6, marked the first anniversary of the coronation of King Charles III as the monarch of England. A ceremonial gun salute resonated through much of London in honor of this occasion. The reverberating blasts echoed from 6 horse-drawn guns, heralding a 41-gun salute in Green Park, adjacent to Buckingham Palace at noon. An hour later, a 62-gun salute thundered from Tower Wharf beside the River Thames. Similar gun salutes took place at Edinburgh Castle in Scotland, Cardiff Castle in Wales, and Hillsborough Castle in Northern Ireland. Just last week, King Charles resumed his public engagements, attending 3 events. First, he visited the University College Hospital, Macmillan Cancer Centre in London, where he engaged in discussions with cancer patients. He also participated in the presentation of the coronation roll to himself and the Queen. Additionally, the King made his inaugural visit to the Royal Windsor Horse Show as British monarch, later joining spectators to watch equestrian events. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
Actress Maricel Soriano has denied any involvement in the use of illegal drugs following her alleged inclusion in leaked documents from the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA. During a Senate hearing, Soriano admitted to owning a condominium unit in Makati City, which was listed as the address in a supposed pre-operation report dated March 11, 2012 by the PDEA. However, she claimed to have sold the unit in the same year, 2012. Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa requested Soriano to provide the deed of sale and submit a copy to the committee. Soriano also refuted reports from 2011 alleging her use of cocaine and involvement in the abuse of 2 household staff members.
Unang-una po, hindi ko alam yung tungkol sa mga dokumento. Nalaman ko na lang yan nung pinakita sa akin. Dahil hindi po ako nagbabasa ng mga ganyan. Wala po akong alam.
2 former household workers who lodged a complaint of serious physical injury against Maricel Soriano stated that they decided to flee from the actress condominium unit also because of her alleged cocaine use. Ano po masasabi mo dito sa balita nito?
Hindi po totoo yan.
Pero totoo na meron kayong dalawang katulong sa bahay na dalawa na umalis?
Opo, kasi ninakawan po nila ako.
Totoo na binugbog mo sila o hindi?
Paano ko naman po bububugin? Dalawa po sila.
Okay.
The Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs will conduct another hearing regarding the so-called PDEA leaks on May 13, 2024.
Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV believes that arrest warrants against former President Rodrigo Duterte and others may be issued as early as June or July as part of the International Criminal Court's investigation. Trillanes stated in a recent press briefing that his information came from individuals privy to or knowledgeable about the ICC's investigation conducted by the Office of the Prosecutor. According to Trillanes, the warrants will be issued by batch, with former President Duterte being targeted first, followed by Senator Bongo, Senator Ronald De La Rosa, and Vice President Sara Duterte. Subsequent batches will allegedly involve other police officials and officials from the Duterte administration. As of now, there has been no response from the Duterte camp regarding Trillanes' revelations. However, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. previously stated that he would not allow any arrest warrants against the former president. He also expressed his refusal to recognize the ICC's jurisdiction in the Philippines, believing it to be a threat to the country's sovereignty.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of Psalms chapter 17 verse 15, it says, "As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness." And those are the reasons behind the news, May 7, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Mavian Dog, live from Australia.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Bianca Quijano, live from Edmonton, Canada. We serve the people. We give glory to God.